So we're kind of running out of things to add about the ecosystem and the infrastructure around it in New York and around fintech generally. But another observation that I would make that was a big impetus to having all these great companies get started in the past 6 to 7 years is the massively reduced cost of doing so. In the first .com boom, if you wanted to start a company that involved a lot of server space, that involved a tremendous amount of physical infrastructure, that involved having to have space, and frankly, that also probably involved having to have physical proximity to a very small group of investors in Silicon Valley. What we've seen over the past 5 to 6 years here in New York is a confluence of a number of things. First of all, there was a sudden supply of very talented engineers who were, for lack of a better term, puked out of the street. There were a number of people whose just job functions disappeared, doing coding and other technologically based things in Wall Street, and those functions were just no longer needed. Those people then had an opportunity to bring their experience and their regulatory knowledge and their inside knowledge as to the way the financial underpinnings of the world works to starting new companies. The second thing that happened is New York became a tech place, and it's connected to the first point, but when Google came to New York and then Facebook followed, that was a huge thing because young people coming straight out of university, less expensive engineers, and people with lower cost of living and higher risk tolerance coming to New York became interested in starting companies in this space. And then the third thing that I would say is the angel and VC hooks were already here to make investments in this space. You already had a collection of high net worth individuals to begin with, and then later on firms like mine, where there are people that came out of the financial services industry that were able to not only provide capital because they were capital rich, but also to provide advice, networking, and access to other touch points in the industry, in town, and around the world.